Hi everyone. Good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you are. Thank you for joining the second part of our webcast series between Oracle and Denovo, where we talk about the value of leveraging cloud for your JD Edwards investments. We have two speakers on the call today. I'm your host, Sai Valuri. I'm with the Oracle's product marketing group, and I focus on platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. The two speakers we have here are Sudha and Dave. So Sudha, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, Sai. Hope I'm loud and clear. So, hello everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you for spending the time today to join the webinar. I'm Sudha Godla. I'm a product manager with JD Edwards Enterprise Joint Development Team. My current areas of focus are JD Edwards in Oracle Cloud and simplified JD Edwards administration. I'm also the product manager responsible for JD Edwards one-click provisioning. So that would be about me. Thanks, Sai.
All right, Dave, can you please introduce yourself again?
Certainly. Thank you, Sai. My name is Dave Willis. I'm the Director of National Cloud Sales for Denovo, and I'm excited to be here, and thank you everyone for joining us for this webinar. I have over 26 years of technology experience, seen many data centers, sold a lot of software and hardware regarding management around data centers, and I've helped many companies make the decision of moving their IT and their ERP applications into the cloud.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. So with that, I'd like to quickly go over the safe harbor statement, as we're going to talk about some of the future planned releases and the future direction. With that being said, we want to make sure that this webcast is intended to outline our general product direction only. It is intended for information purposes, and it may not be incorporated into any contract. Thank you. So here's a quick overview of the agenda. So Sudha and Dave are going to talk about the JD Edwards strategy overview. We're going to cover migration of your JD Edwards Enterprise One to cloud. What are the choices? What are the options that are available to you? We're going to touch upon the cloud roadmap. And again, what are the choices available to you as a customer? Again, in terms of realizing the benefits, what are the short-term benefits? What are the long-term benefits for a customer? How do you get started, and how you can balance your investment versus difficulty. With that, I'd like to pass it over to Sudha so that she can kind of walk us through the JD Edwards strategy and the overview. Sudha, it's yours.
Thanks, Sai. And so what I want to focus on today are the available JD Edwards Oracle infrastructure as a service and platform as a service offerings for JD Edwards customers, and how can they leverage them to move to Oracle Cloud. So to begin with, being JD Edwards, I should say I'm very excited about Oracle JD Edwards being an integrated application suite of comprehensive best-in-class ERP. The new UX1 enhancements delivered by adopting alert analyze act paradigm has seen great success with our customers and partner community. We are working on bringing in fact, more adaptive intelligence into this paradigm. We enabled mobile Internet of Things and cloud with JD Edwards, which opened doors for digital business. We do have robust partner ecosystem like Denovo that makes our customers' implementations easier. So, most of you already know all this, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is JD is successfully running and even leading the market in most industries for more than like 4.5 decades now. And we are able to do this just because we are not afraid to adapt to latest technologies. If you can go to the next slide. Sorry, you guys have to bear with me because Dave will be doing the transition for me. So Dave, next slide, please. So basically, if you remember our evolution, we took like what, sorry, the previous slide. Yeah, so this is the one. So if you remember our evolution, we took like what, about 2 decades to come out from a monolithic green screen, the flatline based interface, right? And then a decade from there to evolve into an appealing intuitive web based interface. But from there on, if you actually see, we started evolving very fast. We adapted mobile, IoT, cloud, analytics, brought in alerts, notifications, suggestions, corrective actions, brought in social and cloud, and I mean, like we delivered huge number of enhancements, like almost every 3 to 6 months. We did it at very rapid, all this delivered very rapidly. Next slide, please. So if you take a closer look, we delivered like more than 160 enhancements since 9.2, which is released like what 2 years ago, and many more queued up for future in the areas of user experience, system admin, and digital transformation. So the next 3 slides, Dev, please transition, will be just giving you a sneak peek of what is lined up for the future. So this is for the UX. Next slide for the system admin, and then next slide for the a sneak peek of future planned features for digital transformation. So I mean, next slide. Like, well, if you look at this, all of this is possible because JD Edwards is adapting to latest technologies and embracing them in their path to digital transformation. We believe cloud makes transformation a possibility for our for your companies, for our customers and their customers. So what I'm trying to say is, don't be afraid to embrace it, and we are there to support your journey to cloud. And in fact, our strategy to empower customers in cloud would be, in the cloud world, would be by leaving their choice and control intact, by enabling them to leverage their existing JD Edwards investments wherever that makes sense, be it on-premise, Oracle Cloud, or hybrid models. So next slide. Next slide, please. I mean, again, this is again a recap from our last session, right? Basically, what I would like to stress on this slide is, don't choose cloud simply because it is latest technology. Come to cloud if it fits your business strategy. If you remember, during part 1 of the webinar last week, Sachin covered various customer examples that showed the patterns in which customers adapted IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS in combination with JD Edwards. Go look at them, analyze them with your business goals, find the right mix of Oracle Cloud offerings and on-premise investments. I mean, I would like to stress that finding this mix is the key to protect your assets and shed your liabilities, right? Anyhow, end of the day, it is your business, your journey, and well, it's your outcomes that matters. Your outcomes could be around improving your margins by reducing the capital expenditures, or reducing the risk of technology obsolescence by leaning onto a platform that is rapidly growing, or even it could be a rapid innovation. So don't make choice to come to cloud just because it's the latest technology. If it fits your business, analyze it. Don't get carried away by the buzzwords SaaS, PaaS, IaaS. End of the day, it's all Oracle Cloud. Analyze it, see which best fits your business cases, and do a transition. So that's about it. The next slide. Well, Sachin, next slide, please. So Sachin already covered the other advantages of choosing Oracle Cloud versus other clouds. But one thing I would like to stress on this is automation. So at JD Edwards, being Oracle shop, we are actually building a great deal of automation for Oracle Cloud, which is not actually possible for us to do with other clouds, because we have access to the Oracle database technology, we have access to Oracle WebLogic technology. Being Oracle shop, we have access to Oracle Linux, which is why we are able to build a great deal of automation for JD Edwards on Oracle Cloud, unlike for JD Edwards on other clouds. And this is a great differentiator for JD Edwards on Oracle Cloud versus others. Next slide. So and by the way, if you actually look at the way Oracle Cloud is aligned, in fact, JD Edwards is well disposed for Oracle Cloud. You can have your enterprise server, I mean the logic and admin tiers comprising of enterprise server, deployment server, dev client, and server manager on infrastructure as a service, database tier either on DBCS or compute if you are interested in bringing your own licenses. Similarly, web on Java Cloud Service or compute, depending on your interest. So basically, you know, we took, yeah, sorry.
So Sudha, let me stop you there. I have a question for you. This looks really nice, right? I mean, how JD Edwards is well disposed for cloud. I'd like to ask you, how easy is it or how difficult is it for a customer to make that transition? Can you provide us with some insight on that?
Definitely, Sai. In fact, that's a good question. Like, as I spoke about, we took this disposition to our advantage and came out with the different Oracle Cloud offerings for JD Edwards. And in fact, it is not really a big leap for customers to imagine how cloud resources need to be aligned. So if you look at our next slides, what I'll be talking in talks about what we have, what as JD Edwards we have for Oracle Cloud, and how you can use these to transition into or move into Oracle Cloud. So the first thing we did is came out with the JD Edwards Trial Edition. Oh, by the way, this is not new anymore. This is there in marketplace for like what, more than a year and a half, and I'm sure some of you would have already tried it, right? So how do you deploy it? So go to marketplace, look for JD 9.2 Trial Edition image, and pull it by doing what Oracle calls it as get app. Now it gives you basically all-in-one sandbox image. It is pretty easy to deploy, like can be deployed under an hour or two, and in fact if you practice it can be even quicker. This trial edition doesn't have any possibility for patching or updating. But it is definitely a quicker way to deploy, and especially for the learning JDE customers, for two reasons. So the two reasons, like the number one is to understand how JD Edwards would run on Oracle Cloud, to check your VPN and network connections and verify the latency or speed in accessing JDE in Oracle Cloud. And number two, like suppose basically for the JD Edwards customers on older releases, they can play around with a brand new functionality using this JD Edwards Trial Edition. And if you know, in addition to the great work we are doing on Oracle Cloud, in fact, we as a development organization are on fire to deliver new enhancements in the areas of UX, mobile, Internet of Things, and a lot of good stuff there going into JD Edwards, right? And it could be difficult for customers to get a grasp of all that. But now, using this Trial Edition, JD Edwards functional, using this Trial Edition, all the JD Edwards latest and greatest functionality can be played around by the JD Edwards customers by just spinning up the sandbox image. Even partners can use it for demos and training. And the best part is once you're done with your work, you can just shut it down or even delete it so that you won't be charged. So that's basically about the trial edition. If you haven't already tried it, I would recommend you to go try it. So now alongside that, we have posted what we call the multi-tier edition to quickly provision JD Edwards Enterprise Run 9.1 release in Oracle Cloud. Basically, these are fully functional VM images. They also include the deployment server and server manager, which allows our customers to patch and upgrade even in Oracle Cloud. Now, this system can also be used as target for lift and shift. This is also supported with database cloud service, and the best part is it is much easier to deploy this in Oracle Cloud compared to your traditional on-premise installations. So these are the two offerings that are right now in marketplace for like what, a year and a half. Great, but if you look at what more, if you think what more can we do in terms of deploying JD in Oracle Cloud, right? For deploying, like imagine this, like every customer, every IT admin guy sits down and prepares on a whiteboard, say what's my topology gonna look like? Maybe I need 2 HTML servers. I need that JD Edwards component called IaaS server. I know I need an enterprise and database and deployment server. So how do we go about? Do we do clustering of the web servers? Which load balancer do I use? OHS, OTD? So there's some design and preparation and conceptual thought processing going on behind before actually a JD Edwards customer lays down the enterprise one environment, right? So now what if we let them do all of this by allowing them to answer some questions upfront on a intuitive user interface, and then do the piece of magic, which is click on the deploy button, and boom, there you go. You have an up and running, fully functional, production suitable enterprise one environment. So, well, this is one-click provisioning. This is all one-click provisioning is about, right? So, isn't that cool? You have a fully end-to-end automated provisioning system to provision JD Edwards in Oracle Cloud. Next slide. So, so again, basically one-click provisioning is a simplified automated way of provisioning Enterprise One in Oracle Cloud. Customers can choose between database cloud service and Java cloud service for pay-as-you-go, or they can even go with a database and WebLogic on compute to leverage their existing licenses. And again, there's a simple process. Go to Oracle Cloud Marketplace, look for the image, do deploy, and that's how you spin up your one-click provisioning server, and then get into the configure screen, answer some questions, and then do the deploy, and the magic happens for you. So next slide, please. So with this, right, I mean, with the one-click provisioning, especially if you choose to leverage DBCS and JCS for your DB and web types, you don't need a village of administrators anymore to go provision Enterprise One. All you need is what we call a decent skilled admin, maybe call him a JD Edwards analyst, can go and provision JD Edwards Enterprise One under 8 hours, unlike a traditional implementation that takes weeks and months. So that is the value proposition. You no more need a village. You no more need to take weeks and months to set up Enterprise One, which is production suitable, which is fully functional with clustering, with the scalability features. Yes, you even have scalability, like you first deploy the minimum required JD Edwards Enterprise One environment. Later, if you feel that your load is increasing for the reasons, and for those reasons, you need to spin up another DB, another enterprise, another web server, or another path code for a training purpose, uses one-click provision, and you can spin up and whatever, you can scale out the environment however you like. So that's the value proposition about one-click provisioning. Next slide. So, well, a one-click provision instance can be used by net new customers to provision Enterprise One. I mean, that same instance can also be used as a target for lift and shift if you are an existing customer. And in future, this can also be used as a target for simplified upgrade, which we are calling simplified upgrade on one-click target. Basically, this is planned for delivery early next year. And the value proposition of simplified upgrade on one-click target is that customers are code current right after the upgrade. Right now, if you see, after actually doing a Tools 9.2 upgrade, customers have to manually patch the last, the ESUs and ASUs released since 9.2, the last 2 years of ESUs, ASUs, which takes like a good number of days per path code, right? Now with simplified upgrade on one-click target, you don't need to do that anymore. So all of this is possible with one-click provision instance. Now, if you look at lift and shift, we did deliver a migration utility. Thanks, Dave. So for the lift and shift, we are providing you with a migration utility that allows customers to bring in your business data, business configurations, customizations, and all patch level into Oracle Cloud Target. The target is nothing but your one-click provision target. And this utility is currently available for 9.1 and 9.2 customers on Oracle Technology Stack. So basically what you do is use one-click provisioning, spin up your dev test for production, use the migration utilities to move your data. But if you're a customer looking for a lift and shift, including your VMs, your network, then I would recommend you to look at Ravelo Cloud Services, which is also a very good base for customers looking at lifting and shifting, including by keeping their on-premise VMs, networking, everything intact. So next slide. Now the next slide is more about the technical details of lift and shift, and I'm not going to cover this in detail today, but refer to Learn JDE if you want to understand more technical details on this. Next slide. So actually in the last webinar, next slide please, Sachin already covered some of the platform as a service use cases for JD Edwards customers, and this slide is just for the refresh from the last session. But now I will deep dive into how we adapted some of the platform as a service offerings for JD Edwards. Next, well, you already saw the adoption of Oracle Database Cloud Service and Java Cloud Service with one click. A few other platform as a service offerings that JD Edwards adapted and already GA'd or mobile cloud service, integration cloud service, IoT and content experience cloud. Next slide, please. So speaking about mobile cloud services, next slide. So you know JD Edwards on mobile devices helps customers to take action at the point of process wherever you are, right? And the goal of Oracle Mobile Cloud Service is to make application development and integration quick, secure, and easy to deploy basically Oracle's mobile portfolio. Next slide. If you look at the JD Edwards release pattern over the past few releases, JD Edwards has released like 85 plus fit to purpose out of box mobile applications. All of these were delivered in fact very fast, and we were able to deliver this very fast because of JD Edwards application interface service server, and also by leveraging Oracle Mobile Cloud Platform for development of new mobile applications. We leveraged Oracle Mobile Cloud Service Platform for specific security requirements, and we are also actively looking at leveraging Oracle Mobile Cloud Service Platform for non-JDE or rather industry-specific requirements. Next slide. So next slide. So well, content and experience cloud. JDE is in fact leading the adoption and delivery of content and experience cloud. Provides out-of-box integration with JD Edwards, which saves time and money. With this, we are also able to provide documents and conversations in context with the JD Edwards transactions, able to provide internal online collaboration platform for customers and supplier self-service solutions. In fact, this is out since tools release 9.2.12, and we are building in more use cases for future phase releases. Next slide. And the next thing I'm going to touch upon is Oracle Integration Cloud Service. So the biggest benefit here is integrations are largely simplified with UI-based point and click-through integrations from Integration Cloud Service. So JD Edwards came out with a JD Edwards adapter for Oracle Integration Cloud Services. These adapters largely reduces the skill set for outbound integrations with JD Edwards as a target, mainly leverages the BSSVs, but customers can use a simple UI and click-through point and patch integrations. You can even use orchestration-based integrations with the generic ICS adapter available today. Okay, so basically that's about the integration cloud services, and in fact we are also working with working on a use case for a customer to use the RTE-based integrations with ICS. Basically, long story short, ICS with custom-built adapters makes the SaaS, PaaS, and even some of the on-premise integrations easier for customers, which is a big success because it is solving real business problems. Our IoT orchestrator and Oracle IoT Cloud Service complement each other. Like in the sense from JD Edwards' point of view, what we want to leverage JD Edwards orchestrator is mainly to manage actions and information coming in, which is ERP specific, which triggers JDE rules and events. And we want to leverage the IoT Cloud Service for managing devices itself, in the sense push data to BI store, handle complex ruling and process, or for that matter, even to separate data to other systems, taking only the JD Edwards part. Next slide. So the next one is actually the the process cloud service. And on the process cloud service front, JD Edwards has already identified the customer use cases around workflow and notifications that can be built on PCS. And we are actively working on adaptation to deliver out-of-box PCS integrations like we did with the content and experience cloud. So that's about the platform as a service adoption with JD Edwards. So next slide. Now, we believe that references is what builds the trust, and we got some great JD Edwards references for IaaS and PaaS with JDE that Sachin already covered last week. And join us at Open World to interact with more references, understand their business drivers, so that you can understand what fits better to your business from the Oracle integrated cloud platform. So I put this slide because Glory Global is a great example for a JDE customer who benefited from the fully integrated Oracle Cloud Platform. For the line of business, right? So if you look at this slide, they were mainly hosted on infrastructure as a service with DBCS and Sova Cloud from the PaaS offerings. They made use of Sales Cloud, Marketing Cloud, etc. from SaaS that complemented their business model, and also brought their third parties on IaaS. So they left few legacies of. Yes,
so, I'm going to interrupt you again here. So I was looking at this, and this slide looks great. You know, the customers obviously benefited, but there are a lot of our other customers who are trying to understand, do we have some kind of a roadmap, or do we have some kind of a path in terms of, you know, looking at cloud and how JD Edwards customers can benefit from cloud?
That's a great point, Sai. In fact, my next slide actually covers the roadmap of what other offerings are going to come out for JD Edwards customers. But before I transition there, one of the things I would leave on this slide is basically Glory Global is like a best example for the hybrid solution. They used IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, at whichever places that fits their business, right? That said, so this is about our JD Edwards Cloud Roadmap. And the available now part, I already covered in the previous slides. So I will skip to the roadmap or the deliverables that are planned for delivery in future. That Sai asked about, so how are these going to help customers? So you have already seen the end-to-end automated provisioning of Enterprise One in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Classic. Now we are doing the same for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, which was otherwise called bare metal. We are even coming out with one-click provisioning for Oracle Cloud Machine. Basically, if customers want to have the Oracle Cloud in their own, premises, so even for that, we are building the one-click provisioning. And and the best part is these deliverables are not just for Oracle technology stack, but we are also building one-click for customers on Windows OS with SQL Server DB. Migration utilities for Oracle stack are already available today. You have seen that in my previous slides. We are building migration utilities for Windows customers, committing to the choice and control that we promised. And I already touched upon the simplified upgrade and its value proposition with one click. Some of the other areas that we are working on for cloud or data visualization cloud and application builder cloud, apart from the PCS that I already touched upon. So basically, these are some of the things we are building in-house so that customers are provided with end-to-end automation, out-of-box platform as a service integrations, and make their life smooth and seamless in transitioning to Oracle Cloud. So that's about the roadmap. Next slide, please. So all this said and done, we believe that cloud is, cloud is strategic, right? Cloud is transformational. But end of the day, it's your journey and it's your choice that puts you in control of what you want to build on Oracle Cloud. Next slide. So are you ready for this transformation? Is what I would leave you to think on. And on that lines, I will pass it on to Sai for the next set of presentation. Thanks, Sai.
Sudha. Thank you, Sudha. Appreciate your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to segue slowly, and we're going to talk a bit about what are the options and opportunities available to you, how you balance your investment, and how you balance the difficulty in transitioning to cloud. Where do you start, and how you can realize some of the short-term and long-term benefits. And there's no one better to talk about it than our good friend Dave Willis, and I'd like to pass it over to him.
Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Sudha. Just before I get started, I want to talk a little bit about Denovo. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Denovo is an Oracle Platinum partner with over 325 employees, 2,000 clients, and over 2,200 ERP projects completed. Denovo is the largest mid-market consulting and managed services partner focused specifically on Oracle ERP suite of products. Denovo is focused on cloud solutions for JD Edwards and e-business suite, on Oracle infrastructure and platform as a service cloud solutions. Denovo also has a full disaster recovery practice focused on business continuity for not only getting you to the cloud, but making sure in the event there's a disaster or any type of event that your systems are protected and your data is safe. With over 350 disaster recovery tests under our belt, we're probably one of the most experienced companies in the marketplace on doing recovery services for JD Edwards. And then our goal is to help all JD Edwards clients make that transition to cloud safely and cost efficiently. So with that said, let's get started. So where can I immediately realize benefits from taking my JD Edwards environment to the cloud? Well, first and foremost, if you're looking to scale and not spend capital on going to the cloud or building your own IT systems or hiring personnel and support people to manage that infrastructure, then moving to the cloud will help you overcome that, moving from a CapEx to an operational expense model. Also, it gives you more predictability in your cost. I'm seeing more and more companies not wanting to spend money, especially spend capital on stuff that's not strategic to their business. It's still compute that over time depreciates and reduces in value, when that money, that capital could be spent in growing their business, focusing on what they do. Also, as JD Edwards, as a product, you have requirements for CNC and other skilled resources to manage the system. And sometimes those resources are getting harder and harder to find. So as you find those resources, the cost of them also increases. So if you're having troubles finding skilled resources, the cloud may help you. And I'll explain a little bit why that is when we talk about resourcing versus compute. And then also, if you need to focus your internal resources on more critical initiatives, I don't know how many companies I speak to who come to me and say, when I bought JD Edwards, I bought 20 different modules, and I ask them, how many have you deployed? And they say, we've deployed about 10 of those. And I ask them why, and they says, well, we just don't have the time and the resources to really focus on those other modules we purchased many years ago. And yet we're paying maintenance on those modules. So how can we get value for it? And I remind them, you purchased them at that time because you had intent to use them to improve your business. So let us help you do that. And part of that is freeing up those critical resources, those people in your organization who know your business better than anybody. Have them focusing on those initiatives to get those modules deployed and improve your business efficiency. If you have security and governance compliance requirements, and every year it becomes an interruption to your business to try to become compliant, to generate those SOX reports, those security audits, then a cloud gives you the opportunity to have that done. It becomes somewhat inherent when you move to a cloud-hosted model that you have these SaaS SSAE 16 reports, SOC 1 and SOC 2 reports about operations. And then on the application change control process, that also can be part of a managed service solution. If you're currently hosted with an unpredictable client right now or with a carrier and you're just not comfortable there, good reason to talk about moving to the Oracle Cloud. And then this next bullet, and I'd be delighted to share with people if you're interested to know what I mean by this next bullet, and I'll just state it, and that is for obvious reasons you need to get out of the data center business. And I've seen a lot of data centers, I've seen a lot of operations, and sometimes I've walked into facilities and the first thing at the top of my head, even though I may not say it, I sometimes think they need to get out of the data center business. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll be delighted to share with you what I mean by that and examples from my experience. But those of you who have questions about your data center operations and continuity around that probably know exactly what I'm talking about. And then if you're looking at integrating into cloud apps to your ERP, then a lot of times moving it to the cloud makes it much easier. When I say move it to the cloud, moving your current JD Edwards environment to a cloud-hosted model and then integrating those cloud applications into a hybrid cloud model. There's so much benefit and simplicity of doing that. And then if you're a company that goes through M&A plays, you see some acquisition on the horizon that require you to quickly adopt environments that are not consistent with your current ERP system. Instead of managing two separate ERP systems, two separate data centers, and two different platforms, for example, moving it to the cloud can help you manage that much quicker and be efficient and getting more value out of that acquisition. So how do I get started? Well, I've illustrated 6 bullets here of how you could get started in your roadmap to the cloud. The first thing you can do is request a cloud assessment. And looking at a cloud assessment, basically having some set of professionals like Denovo come in and look at what you're doing right now with your ERP system, your J.D. Edwards system, and seeing what of it can be adopted for cloud, and it may also be other applications that you have in your environment as well, and which ones can best suited to be moved into the cloud versus operating where you're at today. It's the least risk and it's the least cost, and it gives you a good idea of what cloud options are available to you, where you can start benefiting from those cloud options, and whether or not you're ready for the cloud. Sometimes we ask ourselves, IT professionals, are we even ready? How do I know that? And many times as IT professionals, we get encouraged by our executive team to say, what is our cloud strategy? What are we doing for cloud? And even some of our budgets being earmarked now to cloud technologies, even those we may not yet understand how we can apply our systems to that cloud strategy. So a cloud ready assessment can really help you understand what you can do. And I mentioned earlier about freeing up application resources to focus on key initiatives, and that your people are the most knowledgeable about your business. No one knows your business better than your folks. Having them focus on the key initiatives. One way to help them free up that time is to look at managed application services. That's application services from a professional company that can actually help them take over their daily routine of managing the application. At the same time, freeing them up to focus on these key initiatives. Then one thing you can try is moving non-production environments to the cloud. It's very low risk. It gives you an idea to look at the cloud. And I've seen companies that do this, they actually get the benefit of seeing their non-production, their test, dev, CRP environments actually running on a different platform or in a different cloud platform. And in some cases, they see it running faster than some of their production environments. And they're wondering, why is it faster? And you'll see from the Oracle Cloud, the compute profile and model and the architecture of Oracle Cloud is quite robust. And they're starting to see these differences as companies move towards Oracle Cloud. You also may look at disaster recovery. Every company should have a disaster recovery plan. It's not difficult to target a compute profile in the cloud, Oracle Cloud, with your disaster recovery environment and set up a process of being able to recover into that cloud compute. Very low cost, no capital cost, and immediately provides benefit should your company be devastated by an unfortunate event. I don't even need to illustrate in the last few weeks that disasters do happen. We're seeing it definitely on the East Coast and parts of our country here, and they do happen. And earthquakes, tornadoes, not only natural events, but also just localized events, even at personnel level, that can cause your systems to be down. And every company should have a recovery plan. Also, just kind of a follow-up to what we talked about on the earlier slide about software as a service. If you're looking at hybrid models, again, there's a lot of benefits of moving your J.D. Edwards into a hosted cloud model and then integrating some of these software as a service solutions. For example, if you're using Cloud HCM for your human capital management or HR systems, but you're using J.D. Edwards for your financials or manufacturing, it becomes a lot easier to integrate those when you're in a cloud-hosted model. And then last but not least is moving your production environment, everything, non-production, production, all your compute into Oracle Cloud. And I should point out, I'm not talking about just J.D. Edwards, but all your bolt-on, all your complementary applications, all your compute needs into the Oracle Cloud. I've taken a moment to actually break out those 6 items into a balance of investment and difficulty. Clearly, the assessment, asking for a cloud assessment, is the lowest cost. It's the simplest first step that you can take as a business, and it has the least amount of risk. There's no risk to your systems. Nothing gets touched or moved, but it gives you a good idea of what steps you can take. And then clearly, all the way to the other right end of the spectrum, the largest risk, the largest undertaking, difficulty, and complexity is moving all your production systems from your current in-house hosted environment to Oracle Cloud compute environment. As you can see, the benefits are much greater, though. Some of the benefits being lower in cost, focused on resources to key initiatives, all the things I described earlier on in this presentation. All those benefits can outweigh that risk and difficulty and complexity. And during the assessment, all the way to the left, that risk, that complexity, and that cost can actually be broken out into budgetary proposals, rough order of magnitude assessments, and understanding of your business should you decide to and engage a company like Denovo to assist you with this. I should point out, to be fear of being redundant, that for NDR, which is Managed Disaster Recovery Services, that gives you your greatest value, that in the middle of the slide, where there's a little bit of risk of moving your systems, but really the risk is not about, you're not really touching your production systems. You are spending some effort and energies to making sure your backup and recovery strategies are consistent with a recovery solution, and then moving that into the Oracle Cloud, leveraging the Oracle Cloud infrastructure to be able to recover your system should your production system fail at your facility. The benefits are far greater than what's illustrated here, and this is that if you had a disaster, you are recoverable, you're safe, and you're brought back up, and your business continues on. So let me talk a little bit about lift and shift. So we hear this term lift and shift. Really, what in a nutshell, what we're talking about is bringing your J.D. Edwards system, picking it up as it is, all your customizations, all your third-party applications, and all those integrations, all that stays the same. Nothing changes. Picking that up and moving it into the Oracle Cloud Compute Platform. I get asked a lot of questions, and I pointed those key elements out, because I've had companies come to me and say, well, we're heavily customized. We can't move to the cloud because of all this customizations. And that in this particular case, moving your systems, all that customizations will come over as is, and your systems will continue to operate as it has, but actually faster and more cost efficiently than it did in your current infrastructure environment. So no change to those applications. I do want to point out, and this is when you're making this change, sometimes companies are running on IBM I, also referred to as I-Series, or also referred to as AS400 systems. And those are very sound systems that were originally part of J.D. Edwards many years ago. A lot of companies still on those legacy systems looking to move into taking advantage of cloud, and cloud in the sense of x86 compute platform. We can make that change for you, that platform change from DB2 to Oracle database, or I should even point out to SQL Server can be moved into the Oracle Cloud and the Oracle Cloud platform. So you still have that flexibility, as Sudha mentioned earlier about J.D. Edwards, and you have choice between those platforms, and those can still be moved into the Oracle Cloud. So you're not limited by that. You lose no functionality. You don't need to relicense. All your licenses that you currently have will come over into the system. And the benefits you'll have from moving and doing this lift and shift to the Oracle Cloud will be eliminate your capital costs, as I mentioned earlier before, going from that CapEx to an OpEx model. You'll be able to refocus those valuable resources and key initiatives. And then you'll also have some elasticity in your needs, and you'll see more cost efficiency in your compute needs and profile than you have today. And just to give you an idea of what I mean by that, today in IT, you build out a system that's far bigger than you need, and you buy compute that's greater than you need. Why? Because should you ever reach a maximum need of compute, you need to have that capacity available to you when you're there. In a cloud model, you buy the compute that you need. However, you're on a much larger infrastructure, much larger compute profile. So should you need to consume more compute, that can be dialed up much quicker and in many cases bursted beyond your capacity needs. So you're not waiting for compute profile or compute when your business needs to grow. At the same time, you're paying for what you're using. So with that said, I want to thank you for your time. I also want to, those of you on this call, if you're going to be at Open World, come by and see me. I'm presenting on Tuesday, October 3rd. I'm going to continue on and talk about the business case of moving Oracle to Oracle Public Cloud or Oracle Cloud Infrastructure and how you can move your JD Edwards and actually benefit in more detail. So come see me. And if you'd like, come by. We'll even have a chance to chat about your environment and your needs and how I'm able to help you there. Also, come by and see our booth. We're at booth 2918. And also, we're having a complimentary cocktail hour on Monday, the 2nd, at Johnny Foley's at 8 p.m. So with that, thank you, everyone, and I'm going to pass it back to Cy.
Thanks, Dave. That's very helpful. That's very knowledgeable. So I'd like to briefly touch upon some of the other sessions that are happening at Open World as well. And for all of you on the webcast and who are going to get this, get a copy of this slide deck, we have several sessions that are focused on JD Edwards and JD Edwards with Cloud, and even your traditional infrastructure and PaaS sessions. So we're going to share the links for these sessions after the webcast. Please take some time from your schedule. I know you're busy, you'll have several meetings, but please take some time and attend some of these sessions. They're very knowledgeable, and it's a great chance for you to network as well. Before I jump into the recap, I have a few questions here that came in from the audience, and I'd like to kind of go ahead and address them. So Dave, if you can help me answer these questions, that would be awesome. So the first question that came in is, we are running our Enterprise One on IBM I platform. Can I still lift and shift to Oracle Cloud? What do I need to do as far as licensing and data conversion? I think you touched on it a bit, but can you elaborate and help us out here?
Oh, that's a great question. I get asked this a lot, and in fact, I have great experience with this. In Denovo ourselves, we have a lot of experience moving this. So first saying, yes, you can move. Clearly, on OS 400 DB2, that platform is not in the x86 or the Oracle Cloud model. However, all we do is convert that platform. As far as licensing, in fact, not just a couple months ago, I worked with a company who they still had their license maintenance for their technology foundation, which gives them the ability, and they were on Red Stack Technology Foundation, so they gave them the ability to actually use a standard edition of the Oracle database, which is part of that technology foundation. So we were able to convert their database from DB2 to Oracle database and move that into the Oracle Cloud. On top of that, we were providing managed services to help do the DBA support for that. So they didn't have to know anything about Oracle database. They didn't really have to be concerned because they've already been paying for support for that database. And we were able to lift and shift them right into Oracle Cloud and freeing up time as well as no additional cost.
Oh, that's a great example. That's a great example. Now, here we have another question. A customer is asking us, we have a heavily customized Enterprise One environment. If we want to move to the cloud, do we have to rewrite all of these customizations?
Oh, I think I just answered that earlier, and that's, wow, it's interesting we get these questions in, and they're just, we get them quite often. So no, you don't have to rewrite all your customizations. I will have the caveat saying that if you've got some integrations that have hard-coded IP addresses, all those have to be addressed during the migration because you're moving into a new network environment. But that's pretty common stuff, and that's part of the migration process when moving and lifting and shifting to that. We're well versed on how to do that. Obviously,
yeah. So here's another question, and I think it's kind of linked or related to the last webcast. So one of our customers looks like they sat on the first webcast and they looked at the case study that you shared. They're asking where they can get more information. Yeah.
Oh, great. Well, I'm actually Thank you. What a great question, because that leads me right into that's what I'm going to be presenting next week on Tuesday. So come by and see my session. Again at Open World. I will be presenting the business case just for that one, for that particular client who went from in-house to hosted the Oracle Cloud infrastructure.
Oh, that's nice. So, ladies and gentlemen, please mark your calendars, and as we share this slide deck with you, you can go ahead and register for that session as well. With that, I'd like to do a quick recap. We're getting close to the top of the hour right now, and here are some Twitter accounts and LinkedIn accounts that you can follow to kind of get more information on Oracle Cloud and JD Edwards at Open World. Please make it a point to track them or follow them. In addition, do try to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be posting regular updates so that you can kind of see what's going on at Open World. And just to recap this conversation today, I'd really like to thank Sudha and Dave for participating on our webcast. And I would request all our customers to go look up the marketplace. Spend a few minutes on the marketplace, look up the trial edition. Also, look up the multi-tier edition, which is nothing but a fully functional VM image available for you, and it can kind of help you gain some insight on how you can, work with cloud and Oracle. Again, I'll repeat this: it no longer takes a village to transition into Oracle Cloud. You can do that by leveraging the JDE one-click provisioning. And Sudha will like this. Yes, it'll be very helpful to you. Any questions, please direct them to us. And finally, as a customer, I'd like to say you have many choices and many options. But here at Oracle and our friends at Denovo and partners such as Denovo, we are here to support you and help you in your journey on cloud or a hybrid cloud, or you want to transition slowly. We are here to support you. We are here to help you, and we want to be there for you. With that, thank you so much for your time. You all have a great Tuesday.
Thank you.